We built the shaft so we could investigate. So of course, Marty and I are going to go down. How far is that down there? It's not very much further. I'll just open this up, this little hatch here, so I get a better idea. Imagine you've just uncovered the legendary Oak Island gold chest, making you an instant millionaire. The team's excitement skyrockets as they uncover a strange object that points them back to the original money pit. So the hope is that once we get down 50 to 60 feet, we'll be able to drill vertically deep underground. A hidden tunnel is found, possibly leading to the long-lost treasure that eluded treasure hunters for over 200 years. Could this be the final piece of the puzzle that reveals Oak Island's hidden truths? Let's explore what seems to be the ultimate proof that the Oak Island treasure has finally been found, the Lagina brothers' biggest challenge. People who watch The Curse of Oak Island are really into the hunt for the rumored treasure buried on Oak Island, an intriguing place off Nova Scotia's southern coast. For many years, fans have been digging into a centuries-old challenge that has lured lots of treasure seekers to the island. But snagging this treasure is no walk in the park. Not a single person has managed to find any riches there yet. Rick and Marty Lagina, the brothers leading the show, feel they might finally be close to discovering the treasure. They believe they're right on top of where the treasure is hidden. Just think about that. If they're right, they could do what no one else has, proving their long hunt wasn't for nothing. Could they really be about to make one of the biggest discoveries on Oak Island? Once they hit what could be a significant find, Rick and Marty decided the smart move was to zone in on the money pit area. Their goal was to reach a promising tunnel spot at around 95 feet down. To get there, they had Dumas Contracting Limited push the garden shaft down to 90 feet. While digging, finding bits of metal made them more hopeful that they were on to something big, maybe even closing in on the so-called baby blob. The hints of metal were just part of the excitement. The real buzz was about possibly running into an underground wooden structure, which could be a major clue. This gave them another solid lead to follow, one that might finally help explain some of Oak Island's long-standing curiosities. As they pushed on, it became clear that digging here was tougher than in other parts of the island. So the team planned to deepen the garden shaft to better explore the tunnel. They were pumped about what they might find, thinking it could be historically significant. Laird Niven, the archaeologist on the team, was especially keen, feeling they were closer than ever to finding out what was beneath Oak Island. Getting deeper into the garden shaft seemed crucial for the team to access this intriguing tunnel. They were reminded of the exciting finds from another hole nearby, where they had pulled up things like old parchments, leather book bindings, and a curious item marked with the number 6. This fired up everyone, making Marty and his brother sure they'd uncover more interesting stuff. However, their focus briefly shifted to what they thought was a wooden treasure chest. Do I believe that there's treasure at the bottom of the garden shaft? I'll be honest, I'm hopeful, but I just want to get underground, the money pit. But when they extended a nearby hole known as H8, they stumbled upon something huge about 170 feet down. Everyone was eager to figure out what it was, hoping it might help them overcome the tough challenges they faced for over a decade in their treasure hunt. Unfortunately, trying to reach what they thought might be the treasure chest turned out to be tricky. Digging deeper made the H8 borehole unstable, causing it to spit out dirt and making it risky to dig further, especially since it seemed to be pushing the chest deeper underground. This setback reminded them of an earlier dig and a theory by Terry Matheson. He had guessed that the vault or chest they were after might have been damaged or tampered with by someone in the past. While the theory was intriguing, the team was more interested in recent scans showing signs that there might still be valuable things hidden below. This renewed their determination to reach the suspected vault for a detailed search and excavation, hoping to finally uncover what many have been chasing on the island for over 200 years. As the team continued their efforts on Oak Island, they recognized the importance of handling the materials from the H8 dig site with care. Each piece of evidence they encountered hinted that they were possibly near the long-sought vault. Isn't that exciting? These hints reinforced their commitment to the search for the legendary treasure rumored to be hidden somewhere on the island. This discovery was a real morale booster, energizing the team as they worked tirelessly to solve this age-old riddle. As they wrapped up one find, the team turned their focus to another spot, eager to see what else the island might show them. Exploring ancient pathways, this renewed determination brought them back to the southeastern wetlands of the island, close to where the original money pit was thought to be. The team was buzzing with excitement about what they might uncover in this area, particularly near the ancient stone path. What things could this place hold about the island's rich past? The team was on the cusp of finding out just how significant this cobblestone path was, historically known as a bustling area in earlier times. Filled with anticipation, the team dug into the deepest parts of the marsh. While their main goal was elusive treasure, they were also open to finding ancient artifacts and relics hidden beneath the area's marshy surface. During this intense period of exploration, Gary Drayton took advantage of the situation. He and some team members began to speculate that the stone path might have also served as a wharf for ships that once came to the island. This is what we want to be finding, ship spikes. That means there have been some ships coming here. Intriguingly, this path was not only historically significant because of its connections to the Knights Templar, but might also reveal how the island was used as a landing spot for unloading goods. Alex Lagina was particularly struck by the story and the deep historical significance of Oak Island. He was amazed by the ancient nature of the relics they were uncovering. Motivated by a strong desire to delve deeper, the team ramped up their efforts. While Gary pressed on with his specific searches, the rest of the team focused on gathering more clues that could shed light on the history of the stone path. This effort was not only about finding treasures but also understanding the significance of any items they came across during their investigations. Rick Lagina, in particular, was drawn to what was happening in a specific corner of the bog, believing it could be a key factor in unraveling the 200-plus-year-old treasure hunt. Despite the excitement of the treasure hunt, the team was fully aware of the numerous challenges they faced. Nevertheless, the historical importance of the swamp in relation to the treasure hunt was highlighted, possibly due to an exciting find by Gary Drayton in that very area. This find increased their confidence that they might one day actually uncover the treasure. As they moved forward, the team stumbled upon an odd boulder situated close to the stone path. They suspected that it might have been placed there deliberately. This thought gave them hope that they were perhaps on the right track to uncovering the treasure that had been sought by many over the last 2 centuries. Exploring these intriguing clues and their unique positions, Rick became particularly interested in the importance of this boulder. Shortly after, Billy Gerhardt led the team to a series of rocks he had recently found. They were thrilled when they realized these rocks seemed to form a trail leading up to the boulder located near the stone path in the original money pit. Jack Begley began to ponder the historical events that might have transpired in this area, while Billy pointed out the significant potential for discoveries in such a place. The possibility that they were finally closing in on something substantial was palpable. Each member of the team felt the weight and potential of their findings, driving them to dig deeper and explore further. The site near the boulder and stone path was meticulously examined. They mapped out the area, noted every small detail, and carefully excavated around the boulder. "We're hopeful that Mike and Mark will be able to give us some information from the stones," they said, hoping to uncover any signs or artifacts that could connect the dots to the legendary treasure. Their exploration didn't stop at digging. The team employed advanced technology, like ground-penetrating radar and metal detectors, to scan the surrounding area for any buried objects that might not be visible to the naked eye. Each beep and signal from their equipment brought a wave of anticipation and hope. As they progressed, the team documented everything meticulously. Photographs, video recordings, and detailed notes were taken to ensure that no detail was overlooked. This documentation was crucial, not just for their records, but potentially for future historians who might study their efforts to unravel the questions of Oak Island. With each new dig, more pieces of Oak Island's history came to light, bringing them closer to what might be hidden below. Digging up Oak Island's buried history, the deeper they dug, the more layers of the island's past were revealed. Pottery shards, old coins, and fragments of metal tools were among the artifacts unearthed, each adding a piece to the historical puzzle of Oak Island. "It's nice. I found tokens that go all the way back to Roman days," they said. These findings suggested the presence of earlier settlers or visitors who might have used the island for various purposes. Discussions around a campfire in the evenings turned to theories and ideas about what might lie beneath. The team debated and discussed various historical events that could have led to buried treasure on Oak Island. They speculated about pirates, colonial hidden caches, and even ancient civilizations. Each theory was considered, no matter how far-fetched, because on Oak Island, anything seemed possible. The spirit of camaraderie among the team members grew as they shared this adventure. Their collective efforts, the challenges they overcame, and the small victories along the way brought them closer together. This wasn't just a treasure hunt, it was a historical expedition, uncovering layers of the past that could rewrite the history books. As the season progressed, the team prepared for the possibility that they might actually find the vault or treasure they had been seeking. Preparations were made for safe and respectful handling of any significant finds. Discussions with historians and experts were conducted to ensure that they were ready to properly manage and preserve any historical artifacts they might uncover. So it really wasn't a shock to the crew when they found out Rick was keen on continuing the dig. During their chat, they discovered that Rick's interest had been sparked by the odd arrangement of stones and a large rock they'd recently come across. The unusual positioning of this rock made Rick suspect it might be quite significant in their larger quest. Thinking back, it must have been quite a buzz for Gary Drayton, who was really into the idea of discovering treasures for himself and his team. Since the site the team was near was the Stone Path and the famous Money Pit, the whole team was buzzing with excitement about the endless possibilities this area could offer. Their excitement was likely fueled by the strategic placement of the rock they stumbled upon. With this in mind, Rick pointed out how crucial it was to take a closer look at this area. The prospect of what they might find was thrilling for everyone. But Gary couldn't shake a certain feeling, so he expressed concerns about how deep this new find really was. He came across some clues in a wooden object buried just a couple feet under the earth. A closer examination of this wooden piece showed its unique shape and heft. An even more detailed look led Gary to think it might be part of a ship's decking. This realization helped explain why their metal detectors hadn't picked it up, since it was made of wood. Keen to connect this wooden piece to a possible shipwreck, the team doubled down on their search for any evidence that could link this fragment to a larger historical context. Determined to uncover more from this piece of wood, the team agreed to dig deeper. This insight made Marty ponder the team's consistent effort in the swamp. It's very similar to some of the planking that we found, but this is irregular. It's wider at this end and thinner there, he noted. Especially given the tough conditions they faced there, sure, they had often found items that didn't mean much, but this might change. They kept up their strong effort, especially in the intriguing swamp environment. This led them to consider how long metal objects could survive in the swampy ground. Following Rick's instructions, the team ran into some tough challenges, particularly Jack Begley, who had trouble finding metal in the Money Pit area, specifically in Lot 5, where they were actively searching for missing metal presumed to be buried there. At the same time, other team members were making headway elsewhere on the island. For example, an archaeological team was digging up an unusual stone foundation they found under a circular depression earlier in the year. This excavation led them to stone constructions that didn't fit with what was typically known in archaeology. When Jamie Koibe, an archaeologist on this team, talked about these discoveries, he mentioned he was getting a clearer picture of the stone structure they had unearthed. This new focus brought their attention to artifacts uncovered at about 161 feet deep. These finds gave them insights into the various people who had lived on the island over the ages. For instance, they uncovered a lead trading token from the 14th century, Venetian glass beads dating anywhere from the 1500s to mid-1600s, and metal tools linked to Sir William Phipps. The team's excitement grew as they moved to a new area, ready to dig deeper and see what the island had kept out of sight. Following the trail of Oak Island's old foundation, eager to mark the boundaries of the old foundation, Jamie Koibe decided it was time to lay out the plan for the team. Despite the challenge of such a task, excitement was running high in the camp. The team's anticipation grew even further when they realized their exploration could potentially connect the site to the legendary treasure thought to be hidden on the island.